And I wouldn't be surprised if, like you just mentioned, that Malik Willis is that bargaining chip that Goody needs to move, up or down, quite frankly, in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's Jalen Milroe talking. No, you didn't have that on the schedule here. Trying to think, there was something else I wanted to hit on real quick, but we might move on to your mock drafts if you've got time. Jacob, do you have time for us to hit those?
Yeah, let's do it. We can get that knocked out here.
All right, cool. Let me get back to where I was. We had some prospects visit the Packers as well that we need to hit on eventually, but right now let's go ahead and move into. Jacob did a couple mocks last night and he sent them over to us. What I'm going to do, Jacob, I want you to kind of explain these picks, and I'll tell you where we've got them on our board. And Tim, if you want to be prepared to kind of pull up measurements if we need them or what have you, just be ready to fire that name in. Go ahead, Jacob. You have the floor, man. Let's hear about this mock.
So I couldn't sleep this morning. I woke up at like 4:30, and I just thought, all right, I started seeing some of the Ja talks. So I just decided I was going to trade Ja in both of these drafts and then try to be as – I try to take guys we haven't really talked about unless they were so glaring I had to take them. So vis-a-vis, we started off with round 1, 23. We traded, we did not trade. We got Walter Nolan with that pick. I just could not pick Walter Nolan. I ended up giving a trade proposal to Kansas City, which I know sounds a little outlandish. They were, according to PFF, give us a second and a third. I know that's not realistic, but I just wanted to get some more picks so I could have an idea. And again, I'm trying to pick guys that are generally guys that I haven't necessarily dove into. I'm sure you probably have when I wasn't here, that sort of stuff. So starts with round 1 with 23, pick 23 with Walter Nolan. And then round 2, pick 55, an edge called Josiah Stewart, who I have not personally looked at a lot whatsoever. And I'm wondering where we have him graded, because when I pulled up his PFF grades, I was like, wow, okay, this dude has graded out extremely well. And I just haven't gotten
we have Walter Nolan in the 23 spot. Love the pick. We're totally cool with that. The thing about Josiah Stewart, we talked about him last night, didn't we, Tim, that he's undersized. He's 6'1", am I thinking right?
Let's see.
Josiah
6'1", 245, yeah.
Yeah. And Jacob, if you remove the size and everything, we had him sitting in the 62 spot on our board. So that's not like a crazy reach there. So that I could – if it wasn't for the measurables there, and we know how Goody loves those measurables, I would say, hey, man, sign me up. Not a problem with it at all. Didn't mean to cut you off, but just wanted to hit. We'll do them 2 at a time, and I'll tell you where we got them if that's cool with you. So
that's perfect. So then obviously we got a pick from KC. I wanted to go cornerback right away and get – it's just, to me, you got to either go early or be willing to take one of those kind of diamonds in the rough late. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame. PFF liked it. Clay, I know you like him maybe because he's just a Notre Dame guy. And then I followed that up with the first pick of the round 3 for us, which is pick 87. I could not pick Trey Harris.
Trey Harris is an interesting one. We had a graphic. Actually, I think I got it here, boys. Look how professional we are. Where's it at? Boom. This is a pretty cool graphic. So these are all the rookie wide receivers coming in to the combine, to the draft. I want you to notice Trey Harris. Look at the yards per route ran. He leads all of these receivers at 3 flat, 3 yards per route ran. That's pretty wild. Like, and look, there's not any glaring, need to his game here. Everything's in the green across the board. The yards per game, the yards per. I'm trying to remember what did we come up with the YPTPA, yards per pass attempt, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And then you have the passer rating when targeted 124.9. It's in a little bit kind of the mid green, if you will. Now the majority of his snaps were out wide at 88%. Shout out to @football_insights for this graphic, by the way. They do phenomenal work over there. Go give them a follow on X. So
and
Trey Harris, I'd have no problem with.
Yeah, sorry to cut you. Trey Harris and the guy that I ended up going with next, Jalen Rose, are both one of the highest, if not the highest, in the top, 20 players there that actually played more snaps out wide, which in my brain is clearly what I thought we needed. But, So spoiler alert, the next guy I picked was Utah State's Jalen Royals. Not quite the size and speed guy that, maybe we were looking for, but I just thought back-to-back wide receivers, take a shot at it. I really do think that they want to revamp that wide receiver room and give us more options than we have right now, especially with guys that are going into final years of their deal, guys that maybe haven't shown up, guys that have regressed. And then I went and picked a tackle that I honestly have not looked at whatsoever until that draft, Brandon Crenshaw Dixon out of Florida.
Interesting. So Benjamin Morrison to back up here, we have him in the 68 spot. So that's right there in the ballpark of 63. Trey Harris, you got at 87. Jacob, we've got him at 49. Like that would be over the moon.
He was the best guy around.
Jalen Royals, we have in the 74 spot. You got him at 95. Sign me up, man. Great pick there.
Here's the guy.
Crenshaw Dixon is probably the one that might take a minute. Now, here we go. 130 is where we got him. You got him at 123. That's right there in the ballpark. I think you were using that draft board, Jacob. You can come clean here, man.
Another beast, man. Crenshaw Dickinson, 6'7", 322. However, he's a little old for Goody's liking.
He's
That's
24, I believe.
He's 24. Yeah. But graded out as 80.3 last year, 32 out of 600 plus tackles, according to PFF. So
got it.
I think that's a decent pick.
And then next you have what is it? Go ahead, Jacob. You got a center here, so you're trying to plug and play a center. Looks like out of USC.
Yep. So you guys know I'm a big fan of Jonah Moynihan. Got him at pick 159 in round 5. He is a center, but he has played a lot of different positions on the offensive line, and I just think he's been. I believe he's another guy that's 6'5", heavier weight, kind of taking over from Josh Myers, still having that increased or larger guy on that offensive line leading it, and I don't know why. He's always been a draft crush of mine since I kind of looked into the stats. Just felt like a perfect pick in round 5 there. And then to go to round 6, 198, a lot of people were giving me crap that I got another wide receiver, but it's happened to Goody multiple times where he took 2 or 3. Deontay Thornton Jr., another guy I believe is 6'5", good stride, wide player, plays outside wide. I thought if you can just stack that depth chart and even have some guys that are on the practice squad or that are, maybe plug and play guys throughout the year. We have been bit by the injury bug, as you know. There he is down there, Deontay Thornton. Definitely got some stuff to work on there, but has some promising ones as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, Timmy, passer rating when targeted 129.5 for Dante Thornton, but obviously in the red there, yards per game only 33.9. Now, maybe to me that would suggest he lacked targets, Yeah. I mean, when you've got that high of a passer rating when targeted,
Yeah. 34 targets last year. I'm looking at his PFF now.
There you go.
He definitely fits the mold, though. 6'5", 214. That's what we're looking for.
Any injury, I wonder, do you think that played a role? It seemed like we read
it looks like in 23 he might have been injured. He only played 9 games in 2023.
Gotcha. And as far as Jonah Monheim, there you got in the 5th round, Jacob. You got him at pick 159. We've got him at 126. So that would be that's almost a full round. You know what I mean? Later than we would have been okay with you taking him then.
Yeah,
all right, move on to the 7th.
Monheim is interesting too because he played a lot of center last year. Obviously, he's going into the draft as a center, but he's got experience at left tackle, right guard, and right tackle. If you go back a couple years, so there's a versatility factor with him, which of course we know we like that on the O line. So worth noting.
And then just one that I can't. These last 2 players is kind of how I've been rounding out a lot of my drafts, just because they're too good for me to pass up. Guard, interior offensive lineman Marcus Weir out of Montana State, smaller school, but if you look at his numbers, I think he's graded almost elite every single thing he's done. I think he's got decent size at like 6'3" or something. Just to me, it seems like he's one of those. Even though he's a small school player, he's completely excelled at what they've asked him to do.
6'4", 300 pounds, Montana State Bobcats. Marcus Ware. I think that's a great pick in the 7th round.
Aren't his grades like 90s too the last couple of years?
89.2 last year.
And the year before, tell me the year before, Tim.
What was the grade? I don't have it up here.
Okay. I don't know what the grade is, but he was the first at his position. And we have him listed as with a V next to his name as a versatile offensive line. So,
we got him in
the 197 spot, Jacob. So that's a great value there too.
Yeah, he hasn't given up a sack in the last 3 years, so that's worth noting as well.
Yeah, he's played right guard last year. He's played right tackle the 2 years prior, and he has a grade of 89.2 in 2024, 93.2 in 2023. He was the number 1 ranked. And then even in 2022, he only played 5 games, but he had an 81 overall grade. I mean, he has not given up a sack, like Tim said, in 3 years. Even more impressive, he's only given up 2 hits in that time, and he's only given up 7 hurries in the 3 years he played at college.
I think you're right, Jacob. I think the smaller school thing is probably why people are sleeping on him a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought he could go as high as 5th round. So I think getting him in the 7th is awesome.
Yeah, with a name like Thor Griffith here, defensive lineman, man, how can you be against that? So we've got Thor Griffith, your final pick here, Jacob. You took him at 250. We've got him at 139. Like, that is insane, dude. Like, you got him 100 plus picks later than where we would be okay with them taking him at. And Tim, didn't we hit a graphic or something on defensive line, and Thor Griffith was one that just like popped off the chart?
Yep,
We
definitely.
have it. I don't know if we still do or not, but we had one. Now I think we've gotten rid of it. We had some kind of graph, Jacob, where I remember it was like, I think it was run defense grade plus pass rush win rate or something, and he was in the upper right quadrant, like toward the top. It was wild. So, and listen, Louisville, they're not. It's not like they're playing the absolute toughest, competition in college football, but they're a big school. Like, they're playing big name programs.
Well, and I mean, look at his consistency in 2024, playing 331 snaps, 84.3. That's 18th out of almost 900. 2023 had an 89.2. That's 9th out of almost 900. 2022, 90.5, 9th out of almost 900 players. It's just steady Eddie.
He might be a 3-tech, right? I mean, most of his snaps are B-gap.
Yep.
So that's something we're looking for sure.
Yeah, I think you absolutely crushed this draft. And one thing I got to push back on, though, is obviously the trade. I don't see. I don't think there's a snowball chance in hell we get that much. Now, you're not going to decline that in the mock draft. You're going to take what they give you. Yeah. And what we're referring to is obviously trading Jair Alexander to the Chiefs and getting the 63rd pick and the 95th pick. If that was the type of draft capital you could get for Jair Alexander in a trade, shoo-wee, boy. Yeah, run over there and make that deal, especially if he truly wants out. And Tim, he would go to Kansas City. He would ball out and probably get a damn ring, to be honest with you. And
things could be a lot worse. I could be a Bears fan.
All right, Jacob, I think that was an awesome mock, dude. I think that was great. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate you sharing it. Let's hop back over to social media. If you need to run, you do your thing, Jacob. If you want to hang out, man. Either way.
Yeah, I got to run. We could do that other one another day because I like some of those guys. One specifically. Can I just check one guy while we're here? The Rutgers tackle. I can't see it. Holland Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about an absolute. I don't know if you can just bring him up real quick, but I believe he's 6'8", like 300 some odd pounds. Played obviously for Rutgers.
44. Woo.
But if you look at his grades, he's actually graded pretty well, and he does certain stuff for a guy that huge. I mean, we had 2 or 3 massive players on the offensive line that never really came to fruition, but man, Holland Pierce, and he went against some good competition in the Big Ten. He jumped off the page with me in round 7, 238. I thought, okay, cool. If I can get him that late, that'd be amazing.
Be some good depth behind Sheed Walker. I mean, he's a pure tackle. Looking at the numbers here,
got better every year too.
Yeah, what a monster!
261, then jumped to 90, then jumped to 14th at his position. We got him in the 173 spot. So that's solid there.
Well, I'll swap you guys out for a better looking younger man than I am.
I appreciate that, Jacob. Lesser quality.
Oh yeah.
I disagree with everything y'all just said, to be honest. Have a good night, buddy. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
And then Emilio is what happened? Have fun at the office, Jacob.
Yeah.
I still knees down, Jacob. I still knees down.
My knee.
We got Emilio joining us now. Emilio, we got you a couple sound drops in there, man, just so you know we updated the system here. All right. Let me hit you with a couple of these real quick. All right. We got the
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
That is absolutely perfect.
and then of course the
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
That's what we're gonna say. Every time someone has a bad take this year, we're just gonna hit the crackhead one. So
Yeah.
Anyway, have you listened to anything we said, or did you just literally run in the house, throw the bag down, and jump?
No, I was listening. I had to shower and stuff. I was looking rough. But yeah, no, I'm just I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Going back to the jaw thing, I think it's a little tough, but whatever. Get your number and we can go from there. And yeah, Malik's a dog.
I think there's a chance too with the Ja thing that he goes out there and let's say the best offer he could get is someone said, yeah, we'd like you, but for $10 million per. And then Goody, he goes back to Goody like, all right, I got this team that's interested for $10 million per. And Goody's like, well, hell, we'll give you $15 million this year. Like work something out like that. I think it's kind of like the Matt Stafford thing too.
Exactly.
One thing I will say, it hasn't gotten ugly in the media. The ugliest it's gotten is Ian Rappaport sharing information, which tells you the agency didn't just come out and say it, right? His agent could have come out and said, hey, we want out, blah, 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 blah. But the way they approach it's almost like, let's kind of put a filler out there and see what we got in terms of the market. So,
yeah, and I think that, I mean, it when you do something like that, if he goes out there, only can get 10, and I mean, you're greasing him a little bit, but hey, we'll give you 12, we'll give you 13, 15. And it's like, all right, they do care about me. I'm not, just going to be some scrub or something like that. I think that would definitely bode well. I think that would help Ja in this situation and then help the team. And to that Milroe question, I don't know if I would mind that 3rd round pick on him. You think about it, because then you say you pick Milroe, right? What happens if somebody gets hurt week 2 and they want to trade Malik for a 3rd round pick, 2nd round pick?
Now, the problem with that scenario is you'd have to carry 3, right? And when was the last time the Packers carried 3?
Right. We tried it last year. Tried it last year, didn't work.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So,
convert one to wide receiver again just to stash him.
Hey, Mr. Magoo. Hey, which by the way, I think Mr. Magoo going to be in the UFL, right?
Yeah, he's playing this spring, right?
Go get you another MVP, big dog.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's like being the smartest guy in Harlan County, Kentucky. You know what I mean? Good, winning the MVP down there at the UFL. It's not a major feat, but hey, you are the best at what you do. So here's that video. I'm not going to play the video because we might get hit with some kind of copyright. I don't know who owns the actual rights to it. Sleeper NFL tweeted it out. Just go give it a follow. Go give it a retweet at Sleeper NFL. You'll see it. It's toward the top. It's gotten a bunch of run here on my Twitter page, just sharing it. But Malik Willis giving his clothes to the homeless dude. Man, I love that guy. Absolutely love that guy.
It's my quarterback, man. It's my quarterback.
That's it. Let's go rapid fire here real quick. Adam Schefter just putting out the information, kind of grouping everything together, getting organized. Players who have been granted permission to seek a trade this offseason include, and this is before the Ja information, obviously, linebacker Harold Landry, defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, wide receiver Cooper Kupp, wide receiver Deebo Samuel. I know that, GM for San Francisco, I'm forgetting the name.
Lynch.
Great safety.
John Lynch.
Said today that they're going to grant him that right to go get a trade, go find the best trade, and we'll trade you to wherever they decide type thing. So it sounds like they're on the same page with that. Debo's going somewhere. I hope it's not Green Bay. Now, if you're bringing in Debo for a 6th round pick and a restructured contract, hell yeah, sign me up. But that's not going to happen. He's going to want to get paid and continue to get paid and all that. So I'm just not there with him. Cooper Kupp, we've talked about that. We won't rehash it. I just want to kind of hit some of these headlines here in terms of players that are going around. Is there anybody there that you guys go, ooh, I'd like to have?
No, I kind of look at this list and I'm like, nah, meh, hell no. It's kind of my reaction to in that order. I'm with you, Clay. I don't think they're going to bring Debo into Green Bay at all. And Cooper Kupp, obviously super talented dude, kind of coming off a banged up year last year, not really 100%. I don't know how well he fits into what we're trying to do here. And then we talked about Landry and Allen last night, I believe. I don't think that they're super high on our list either.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of, I wouldn't say a problem, but maybe just like a little knock. I mean, everyone is looking, all of them are looking for a trade for a reason. It might be a different reason, it might be something else, but they're all, able to look for a trade for a certain reason. And I think that it might be something you just kind of want to stay away from if you can get it done in free agency.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, let's move it along here. We'll go rapid fire. The Packers did meet with some players. Emilio, do you have the spreadsheet up by chance?
Always.
Oh, man, let's go. Add the cheese.
You may have already did it, but how cool is this? We were talking about this, Tim. Was it last night that we were talking about Jahad Campbell?
Jahad Campbell, yeah.
We were like, I remember specifically saying, listen, if he falls the right spot, I'd be okay with taking him in the 2nd round. If Goody's got a high enough, let's say Goody's got the same grade on him that he had on Edger and Cooper. Why not? Right. Yeah. And then you have kind of a 3-way battle there between Jahad Campbell, Quay Walker, and Tyron Hopper for that 2nd linebacker spot in the nickel or the nickel 4-2-5 defense. And then of course, whoever comes in 2nd place for that number 2 linebacker in our nickel defense will be your third linebacker in the 4-3.
Makes you feel better about, Zay McDuffie and Wilson being gone. You bring a guy like Campbell in, like you said, and that's kind of the competition we have,
We get too old for this. This is a great point. He said a linebacker named Campbell in Green Bay is like a corner name. Spot on. So again, for those on the pod, Easton Butler tweeted out the Packers met with Alabama linebacker Jihad Campbell at the NFL Combine. So do you have the cheese emoji updated there, Bill?
Updated.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
Me too, man. Culver's got some fire ones, but Campbell here. You know what I was thinking? He's what? We have him 31. PFF, where they have him 38. Consensus had him 32. He's just going to be our first round pick, right? Let's reach about 10 spots and pull him at 23. I could completely see that happening. I could absolutely see that happening.
That would feel just like the Quay Walker pick, would it not?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Sitting in the mid 30s ish, and it's like, no, we're going to get our guy.
All off season, all we heard were the draft experts go, the Packers would never take a linebacker in the first round, and then they ran Quay Walker up, and we're going, who? What? So yeah, we got Jihad Campbell at the 30 spot. Why do we have him there? So the main thing that has raised him up, and I appreciate you highlighting it there, Emilio. Daniel Jeremiah, former NFL scout, has Jihad Campbell as his 13th overall prospect with his initial top 50. That is wild. Like that, when he's saying, "Hey, look, this dude is worthy of a top 20 pick,"
right?
If he's somehow sitting there in the second round, I doubt it. But if he falls to the second round to the Packers, we run that card up there, man. I'd be all about it. So that's the main thing that's got him so high on our board. If you go, well, I don't like Daniel Jeremiah. Okay, Dane Brugler has him at 23. Kyle Krabs had him at 40. The consensus big board had him at 32 at the end of the year. That is literally spot on with where we got him right now. And he was the 38th highest graded linebacker, according to PFF in college football last year.
You talked about Quay. I'm looking at Campbell's numbers. He looks like a coverage guy too. He's like a lot of coverage snaps, a lot of snaps in the run fit as well. So pass rush is probably not his main deal. So having a guy that can cover some of these receivers and tight ends is not a bad look for the Packers at all.
Yeah, what's his measurables, Tim? You got his height.
Let's pull him up here.
6'3",
244, and he's Goody qualified at 21 years old. So,
oh my God, he's
saying that's probably our first round pick.
He's going to check all the boxes, right? Like now. How's he going to test at the combine? That's going to be big. And again, just a quick refresher. I'm not doing this for anybody else.
He runs a 4.5. He's picked.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So when are the linebackers? So the linebackers are already in town, right?
Yeah, they're first up.
Holy cow!
That'll be tomorrow. They're running.
Let's go,
man.
Let's go. Man. I'm logging into NFL Pro right now. Let's go.
Tim, I'm going to go ahead and get it loaded up. Make sure everything's set up.
Let's go. Set it to auto refresh. Let's
put it on every screen in the house. Miss Green can't get it off. She's over here trying to watch her show.
So the on-field workout that will include if they're doing, he may not be participating in everything. We'll find out in due time, I'm sure. So they'll do the measurements and the on-field workout. That does include the 40-yard dash, the shuttle, all that stuff, right? I would imagine. And then the next day it's the bench press, broadcast interviews, and then he'll depart Indianapolis. So it's got to be tomorrow, right, Emilio?
No. That's everything tomorrow. I think it'll be on TV. I'm guessing, they're just going to run through, do all the drills.
So keep an eye on Jihad Campbell out of Alabama. Another player we need to put the cheese emoji next to, thanks to Easton Butler, said the Packers met with SMU edge defender Elijah Roberts at the Shrine Bowl. I don't know if this is new information or not, Emilio. I think it kind of feels like it is, seeing that he just tweeted it out 13 hours ago. Yep. But did we have the cheese emoji next to him?
I did just update it right before we got.
So we did not have it before, though, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Tim, you got anything on edge defender out of SMU, Elijah Roberts?
6'4", 295, graded out as a 91.1 last year, according to PFF. 45 hurries, 8 sacks on the QB. Yeah, definitely an edge rusher. You know, it's funny that the more I see these edges popping up in the conversation, it makes me think we might take a swing there too at some point in the draft for sure.
I think it's going to happen, man. I think with Goody's presser yesterday, him talking to the media, whatever you want to call it, there in the private setting, he was talking about we got to get pressure before. We got to get pressure before.
Yep.
And I love listening to comments at the end of the season because they're not worried about giving information out during the season that's going to tip their hand on what they're doing. Think back to what happened, guys. What did we see about midway through the season? You've seen all this touch spying going on. Mm-hmm. And what did Goody's comments yesterday? He's like, yeah, we had to make adjustments as we went along. That's the thing that kept popping in my mind is like, now they're probably looking at, okay, how do we get this defense to where they can really pin their ears back and get after the quarterback?
Matt said the same thing in his presser. We're trying to get to 4 under 3 or 3 high 4 under. And that's where we wanted to be. We were not that. And happy to work around it.
Goody fixed the safety room in one off season, so I'm fully convinced he can fix edge too, for sure. Yeah.
So Elijah Roberts, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tim.
I'm saying he's got to be pulling the trigger 2-3 times there at D-line edge. I mean, I think it's going to be I was listening to, I think it's PFF Pod. They said that the Atlanta Falcons, all 45 of their interviews, they are doing on defensive players.
Wow.
Not one offensive player are they interviewing at the combine, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So again, these are players that the Packers are meeting with at the combine, and then of course this one was at the Shrine Bowl.
Yep. We had Elijah Roberts at 112. His PFF 22 was 267. PFF 23 4th overall. PFF 24 6th overall.
Yep.
PFF Big Board 112. Consensus 166. And 33rd team did have him at 106.
He's at 75 right now on PFF's big board.
Yeah. If he's sitting there at 123,
yeah,
run that card up there. I'd be all right.
Yeah, because you put in the 25, or if you put in 75 for him there, I mean he'd jump way up.
Yep,
no doubt. All right, moving along, another player here from Easton Butler. The Packers and the Cardinals met formally with LSU edge defender Braden Swinson at the combine. Emilio, did he already have the cheese emoji that you know?
I do not believe so.
Bradyn is how that's spelled.
Bradyn. Swinson, he did not have it. He does now, though. He did go to the Shrine Bowl. Yep. And so
we've got him in the 91 spot, gang. So he is 91st on our board. He was the 74th highest graded edge in 23. He was the 41st in 24. The 33rd team had him in the 72 spot. Again, we've got him sitting at 91. Tim, do you got measurables on a Braden Swinson out of LSU? That's a big program there too.
6'4", 250. He's a big dog. Yep.
Yeah, 6'4".
83.3 grade last year. 9 sacks, 43 hurries, 8 quarterback hits. Yeah.
There you go.
But
another player on the radar here. We can hit on some of this stuff, or we can save it to tomorrow. We're at the hour 13 mark. Let's go ahead and hit this. Anything else you guys want to add to those prospects that we were just talking about? Anything else? We good?
No, I think
this is interesting. Rob Demoski put a tweet out. You guys know every year the NFLPA does a thing where the players will actually grade the organization. You remember us doing this last year, Tim?
Yes. Yep.
So the Packers,
locker room and all that stuff, right?
According to Rob Demoski, the Packers finished 7th overall this year. They were 3rd last year and 6th the previous year. So they're just remaining in the top 10. I think that's good information, to be honest with you. If I clicked on that too, I thought he had another tweet attached. Here we go. Players praised team culture and gave high marks in dining, weight room, and training room. Per the survey, quote, the most common area the players feel is in need of improvement is the locker room. While the space is sufficient, players believe it should be renovated and upgraded. They're probably seeing all these other social media posts, Tim. You've been in the locker room. You know you've seen what it looks like. All these other ones are all high-tech, upgraded and everything, and the Packers like to kind of keep things traditional. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year or two the Packers do some kind of revamping.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's coming. I mean, they started with the priorities, right? You know, the training area, the weight room is improved. Player parking has been completely upgraded. These guys don't have to walk through the snow anymore to go to work.
Mhm.
So, I mean, everything in due time, and I'm sure having the draft here and a little extra revenue, that won't hurt, right? Maybe that'll be the next project is I would think revamping the locker room. And then at some point, you got to think there's going to be some kind of upgrade or updating of the Hudson Center and the practice facility as well. So just give it some time,
Right.
I'll say this.
Not spending a bunch of time in the locker room either. So,
Right.
We get through the interviews, get you out of there. I know the wood's not solid, but it's historic too. I think that helps.
Carly Ray says, how do you make the locker room high tech? Phone chargers in the lockers, automatic toilets. I think that what a lot of these locker rooms have been revamped with is they've got, and maybe the Packers have some of this. I'm speaking I'm a little ignorant right now when it comes to exactly how the locker room may or may not have been revamped. A lot of these lounge areas, pool tables, stuff like that, just TVs just more high tech, more like hanging out in a lounge.
Yeah, or like going the way of like a baseball clubhouse kind of mentality, rather than just a locker room, kind of a gathering place for the guys too, because it is more than just pregame and postgame, right? That's kind of like your home base when you're going in and out of work, practice, OTAs, camp, that kind of stuff. Your day begins and starts and ends in that locker room, obviously. So I think that's probably what it is, right? They probably want some of those plush seats, and I think Carly's right. Probably some chargers, get some Bluetooth going, get some flat screens in there. It's coming.
I immediately think of Major League, the movie, when they were cutting all the amenities on the players, trying to get them to lose. You know what I'm talking about? Remember they ended up putting the trolley motor. Wasn't it the trolley motor?
Yeah, in the soaking tub.
Absolutely awesome. So I think this is the Packers rankings here from Rob Demoski. Treatment of families got a B. That's 12th best in the league. I'd love to see who's 32nd there, by the way. Like some just garbage organization that was treating the families like that. Yeah, the Bears. Food dining area A-. Man, they must be shipping some elk stroganoff downstairs.
Yeah, have to be.
That's exactly what they got. A little chute. They drop the elk stroganoff down. Nutritionist, dietitian A-. That was 7th best in the league. Locker room was a B. That was 12th best. Training room A-. That was 5th best. Training staff was a B. That's 16th. So that's kind of middle of the pack. Maybe people still mad about popping them pecs. You know what I'm saying? Could be the case there. Weight room an A. That was 5th best. Strength coaches, I guess, is there. Here it is. I apologize. It wasn't the training staff. It was the strength coaches. They got a B. That was 27th. So, yeah, everybody pissed off about them pecs popping. So, But you know what? They came in and kind of rattled the cages a little bit, sounds like. Team travel, A-. That was 9th best in the league. Head coach, A-, 20th best in the league. Now, when you get an A-, we're not going to sit here and kid ourselves into thinking that's a bad grade, right? That's not a bad grade. But if you're saying the players felt like they had the 20th best coach in the league, if you were to read it that way, and it's probably not an accurate way to read it, does that raise your all's eyebrows a little bit, or do you think everybody else is just lying?
Second answer.
I'm not reading into that.
I'm going with number 2. Yeah, I do think that
Matt
was cooking. And then you got other people just sitting there like, oh, no, my coach was great. And
exactly
how many of the 20th got to the playoffs? You know what I mean?
Bingo. So. And then ownership, A-, 11th.
Hey, we got an A-. Clay, look at that. Hey, guys.
Tim, congratulations. Tim, get on the horn there. Call somebody and tell them we got an A- if you
Yeah, we'll get that grade up. We'll be an A+ next year.
So I did see something where they were specifically, I think with ownership, they were specifically talking about Mark Murphy and the job he's done. And they were very I want to say there was a couple of players that had mentioned it, or maybe Rob or somebody had reported on it. The players were very happy with Mark Murphy, and they felt like he was very engaged, very plugged in, giving the team, input, that type of thing. So I think that's really cool for sure. There's the overall ranking. So yeah, that's all we got on it. I thought that was cool, man. I like to see that come in every year. I think that's an interesting conversation.
Love it. 3rd year in a row in the top 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So we got that taken care of. Next, we already talked about Ja. I got to be careful with this next one, putting it on the screen. So let me scroll up a little bit. Let me do it this way. This might be a little bit easier. talking about rules, right? And how they're constantly trying to make the game better. So Tom Pelissero put this tweet out, and it pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. The NFL is considering expanded replay assistance for several fouls in 2025, but only if they're called on the field. NFL executive Troy Vincent said today that putting down flags from New York is a, quote, non-starter, meaning this still wouldn't be called, talking about that face mask that did not get called on Sam Darnold. Here's the problem I got with this. This is going to turn into the same BS that happened before with the whole checking the pass interference calls. It's not going to be, oh, crap, we missed that. Look, the replay shows he clearly grabbed his face mask. You can't – that doesn't change anything. If I'm understanding – you guys correct me if I'm wrong. That would not change. You still can't do anything about that. But if a flag does happen on the field, they challenge it and it wasn't actually a flag, then they can pick the flag. Is that the way you guys are reading this too, or am I reading it completely wrong? How do you forget everything?
What it sounds like.
Give me your interpretation of it.
There would have to be something initiated on the field. That's what I'm gathering from this. In other words, the booth is not going to just say, hey, throw a flag. You know? So, yeah, I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and am I wrong? Like, that bothers me. Like, that's the whole purpose. Is the point is get it right. Get the call right. You know what I mean? Like when Jordan Love got smacked in the face. You guys remember that, right? And he literally got punched in the face and no flag thrown. Right. And it's like, if they had thrown a flag for it, then they could go back and pick the flag up after review and go, he didn't actually touch his face. But in that situation there where he got smacked in the face, there was no flag. You can't review it and go, look, he got smacked in the face. What are we even doing?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't know.
You guys know where I stand on this. We've talked about this before. I don't think the league is concerned at all with getting it right.
Exactly.
I don't think
they need that gray area, Tim.
They want to control outcomes. They want to influence games. That's hey, I'll say it. Can't cancel me. I'm a nobody. So I'll tell you right now.
On the ticker.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I don't think the league is interested in getting it right. We've seen that over and over again. Well, we don't have access to the all 22, the overhead cam. Oh, really? The one that would have shown you the correct call? The one camera out of 22, you don't have access to that one? That's not on accident. That's on purpose, right? So I don't think the NFL wants to get it right. They don't.
Yeah, Carly Ray says, but Clayton, if you give New York the ability to throw a flag, then you're essentially making them responsible for all fouls. The guys who have the best view would be responsible for the foul. Again, the goal should be to get it right. And that's what Tim's saying. Like, this reason I worded this tweet this way, Emilio, I said, as always, the league ignoring the obvious fix to the problem, therefore leaving room for fans questioning the integrity of the game. It's freaking unbelievable. It's like they want that blurred line there where they can kind of.
Yeah, I think this was literally made for like the Chiefs right tackle that jumps on the false start, and like maybe one time they can get him to overturn it back. You know what I mean? Like he gets all those false start jumps. It's like, all right, give me 5 of those yards back. I mean, you're going to get the occasional face mask, which was, half a pull, but I mean, nowadays they've been pretty good with that. They're not missing any of those big crazy calls, and the fact that you can only pick it up doesn't make any sense.
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
Like 2-0 for this says, then wouldn't they have to technically call every time an offensive line holds? You can pick how the rule's worded. You could say this excludes holds, right? The big penalties, the pass interference penalties, the face mask penalties, right? Those are the ones to me that always have this huge outcome on the game. I understand what you're saying, 2-0 for this. Like, you can still steer a game in a certain direction with holding calls. How many times did we see it, guys?
Oh, yeah.
A huge run get broke off on the Kansas City Chiefs. Somebody takes off up the field. They get 30 yards down the field. A hold gets called away from the play. That's wiped out. Bang, all of a sudden, Chiefs somehow come back and win a damn ball game. Right. Like it. In the one game this year, in my opinion, that it didn't happen, they got the crap kicked out of them in the Super Bowl. And it just kind of proved the point. Like, this is what happens when they don't get every single call. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. It wasn't surprising to me that they went this route because it's everything you guys just said. Like, they want that leeway for sure.
Right.
So, let's see here. There was something else that I wanted to hit on real quick. We may save it for the morning. Let's save it for the morning show, Tim. So we're going to pick up tomorrow at let me see here. Actually, here's one to add to it since you're in here, Emilio. You can help me with this. Boston College edge defender on the Packers' radar. Tom Silverstein had put this out. So, did we have them meeting with Donovan as Araku? It'd be Eazy-E, not Easy-E. Tim went, oh, you got the 8 ball.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
See if we've got the cheese emoji around him there, but it should be fairly easy to find. Eazy-E-I-R. You type that in.
That's his nickname if we
no, but you want to know who he's right next to is Jihad Campbell.
Is he really?
In the third, he is in the 29th spot.
And he would have played for Coach Hafley, correct, in 2022?
That is correct, yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, unless he transferred over, and I don't think he did, right, Tim? You may have it pulled up there.
He was at BC in 2022. Yep.
Right.
All right, cool. So we got the cheese emoji on him, Emilio?
Yeah, I put it on there, but so we haven't technically met with him yet. So that's one we just need to keep an eye on. He's on the radar, but it hasn't been a meet. I don't believe. Is that correct or what?
So what do you think, Tom? You know how I feel about Spoon. This is Tom Silverstein. This is most of his information is he's so close to the organization from a general manager standpoint.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what does this mean? That they told him
that if Jihad Campbell's gone at 23, we're taking Nazarica.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
I mean, think about it. If we're looking at our board, the guys that the Packers have met with in the top 32 is 1 Kenneth Grant at 15, 2 Walter Nolan at 23, 3 Donovan at 29, and 4 Jihad Campbell at 30.
All defense?
All defense.
Wow.
All defense, and 3 of them are D linemen. 1 of them's a linebacker.
Got it. All right, there you go. So, no cheese emoji yet, right?
So I put it on him, but we need to remember to keep an eye on that. But I was going to ask you that Braden Swinson from LSU is on Easton's Excel sheet. It's bold for a formal visit. Do we want to do a different notation for that? Because he was bold. Swinson.
So yeah, we got to give him the we'll give him the Collinsworth designation.
Here's the guy.
So you're saying, I'm trying to follow you here. You're saying he's saying it's going to be a top 30 visit?
He said it was a bold as a formal visit at the NFL Combine. So I'm not sure. So like I think that they met with Campbell, but they said that Swanson was a formal visit.
Okay. I would just put a cheese emoji, but when we get the final top 30 visit list,
we'll double check it.
We'll do a target on them so we know to differentiate. Yeah, just throw the cheese up there. That'd be good. So give him the cheese. I want the goal. Give me the goal. All right. Anything else, boys? I know we went over on time. I apologize. I just want to get that in there while Emilio was here. And Tim, we'll pick up at some other stuff that was going around social media when we do the morning show tomorrow. So
awesome.
Perfect. You have the floor, Tim. Parting thoughts.
Bye, Ja. Love you, bro. That's about it.
Tim fought this forever, man. Tim was like,
if you could have seen the excitement in my house the day that man was drafted, I mean, I almost got evicted. I made so much noise at my old place. I was hyped. I was hyped for Jair, and looked really good there for first 2 to 3 years. Really looked good. But yeah, I guess
he played some good football, man.
Yep. So best of luck to him. Hopefully he goes to an AFC team. Get him the hell away from us. Yeah.
I'll see for Tim.
That don't say that, Clayton. Oh.
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say for Tim, I was just going to say welcome back, Ja. I'm glad we got your deal cut up, and I'm glad that
there we go.
This hammered out. Let's go chase that Lombardi.
I love it. Emilio's holding on to a little bit of hope. I love it.
Tim, can you read this comment for me here from Soul Turtles, please?
A package for Myles Garrett or Crosby immediately. Trade Jair and our first round pick.
2-0 for this. Put a stamp on it here. He said, Where's it at? Oh no, it's so far down, isn't it? Where's this soundbite?
You heard it from a fan right here.
Don't we still have that?
Tim right here.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Got it. Tim's on it. All right, Emilio. Anything else, man? This show sucks so bad. Y'all hit the like button if the show sucks.
Yeah, please sub and hit the like, share, like Jacob says. Everybody, appreciate it.
Yeah, Coach Lynn hit the nail on the head. Hate to lose great football players. He is, but he's a great football player. Just, I think it's time, man. It feels like it. Again, he may go out there. There not be much of a market. Come back, restructure the deal. They come up with something, and he goes out and plays his best football.
Man, we get that Jair back. This guy.
Took it down the sideline, turned over with my guys, gave the football to a little kid wearing 23.
There's not another player we had as many sound bites for. I'm just telling you.
And there's only 2 more years left on his deal. Work a number. Let's get him back, run it back, get out of here.
Emilio is that dude, Tim. Like, you're that guy. You correct me if I'm wrong. You're that guy, Tim, that's like, once the crap hits the fan, all right, burn it to the ground. Let's just go. All right, whatever the hell. I'm just tired of talking about it, right? Me, I'm over here like, okay, if we look at this thing, that thing, and we're all fighting in the parking lot. Emilio's literally in between. Go, guys, calm down. It ain't that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. I mean, we're the
$2 million
and we're cruising. I mean, the draft is coming. Days are passing. We're fine.
Which, by the way, last night I finally had to say, Mandy, go to sleep, because we're laying
How's
there.
that list coming? She got the
we're
list
laying there
going
in bed. Oh, forget the list. We're laying there in bed. We're on Packers Pro Shop. We've got 75 things in the cart. We're going to buy 75 different shirts for 3 days of the draft. That's what's going to happen. And she's probably going to make me change my shirt every 2 hours or something. So now there's some cool stuff, though. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out the NFL draft stuff. Really cool coffee mugs. That was what I got most excited about. I'm like, ooh, add to the mug collection. But they got some really, really cool stuff. And most of it's blue, which is kind of weird. Something saying Green Bay on it, but it being blue. But, of course, that's the draft color. So I think it will be kind of a cool piece to have. So really cool football too. Blue and white football, NFL draft logo, Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's some awesome stuff.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff to grab. We're not gonna have a draft here for another 200 years or whatever it's gonna be. So definitely want to grab whatever you can for memorabilia.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all's time. If you would hit that like button on the way out. Thanks to everybody over on Rumble, on YouTube, on X. You guys and gals are absolutely awesome. We'll see you in the morning, 8:30 a.m. Central, for a little Good Morning Lambeau, PTA AM, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Nice. Don't matter what the name is. You know it's going to suck. Bye.
There we go. We out.
Bye, guys.